Ooh, can I have some?
Okay, so now we are in our Tuta Loca section where we call out motherfuckers that are doing the most. The internet. As per usual, is always doing the most. So I find it funny that like around the holidays now, it's like I can predict which memes are gonna come out. I can predict like what the jokes are gonna be, and it's just like, all right, who had a crying video this year? All right, they're gonna use that and put the title of like me on Valentine's Day, me by myself, people like eating in front of mirrors, and like all these things. And it's interesting because I'm a hopeless romantic, so I think celebrating love should be done every day. Like, I think that is something that needs to be displayed. But I'm also of the belief that while Valentine's Day itself is very capitalistic focused, and yes, it's about making money and all that stuff, but why can't you celebrate me still on that day special? Like, I don't understand why. Because while the materialistic things are capitalism, the desire to want to be celebrated, loved, and fucked really extra good one day is human. It's human. It's a human thing. And so I think that the internet puts sort of a display of the clash of people who, you know, are being pinned as gold diggers because they want to be celebrated, when really that's just what they want every day, and that's an excuse for them to be vocal to their partner, like, hey, now you kind of have to do it, and I don't have to feel like an asshole if I'm asking you on May, 12th that I want something special, Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you guys and your love languages. How do you guys like to receive love, and how do you guys like to give love?
Wow.
Who's gonna go first?
Frank, of course.
The wisest one of the three.
Well, I'm single right now, so.
Okay.
But when I had my significant other, I agree with you. It should be an everyday thing. It shouldn't just be concentrated on the 14th. I just think now with social media, it's just people have egged it on more. So it's like the 14th has become like just a bigger thing, and your significant other's looking at your social media to see if you're paying attention or putting the pictures up and giving them love, right? So I don't know. I think that's how social media has made it like, I think it's like more pressure on partners now.
But how do you like to be loved?
Me?
And how do you give love?
Good question, Julissa. Good question, Julissa.
I love this question. Frank, come on, Frank.
Nah, I like good conversation. Good conversation.
Ooh.
Good conversation. I'm not about eating in a fancy restaurant or gifts or this and that. Good conversation and good love. That's all I need.
And how do you give love?
Ya tú sabes, manita.
Frank's like, duro como siempre, tú sabes, duro.
Because he said good conversation.
Duro.
Is there any eating? Do you like to eat?
Of course. I mean, you need to do some pre-eating. You need some energy before you get there. Julissa, you sabes.
What do you do, Frank? Like a Luna bar? What do you do?
La comida, los traguitos, good conversation. You get, it's layers to it,
What about dessert?
Always.
Do you find yourself going down under for dessert?
Of course, always. Come on, Julissa.
What are we talking about? Wait, what are we talking about here? Dessert?
I'm trying to make sure you say all
Is
the
there
right
keto
things.
desserts? I don't know.
Single, so I'm trying to make sure you give all the right answers, because girls are going to start sliding into your DM after this episode.
But they do even besides.
Oh.
Pero no, it's about give and take, I think, in a relationship. That's why a lot of relationships are not working. It's not a give and take. It's one side is always taking.
Wow, it's Dr. Frank over here. Hi, guys. Guys.
What about you, Michael?
As far as like, how do I like to be loved?
How do you give love?
I like moments. I think moments are, I think that's why, like, if you get materialistic things, they're great. But I think when sharing moments, exploring, different restaurants and things of that nature, and just having intimate conversations and discovering your partner. I think for me, if I'm going to be like really, personal, I think for me, I've been with the same person for 6 years now. And I think it's just been listening more and understanding. I think we bring in past relationships. And I think it's just a matter of just shedding, just letting go, shedding.
Just shitting on all.
Shedding. Well, it depends. If I'm drinking prune juice, then yes, it's shedding. No, but I just think that, a lot of times, especially once you're past your 30s, you get to a point where you're not jaded, but you have your triggers, and I think that a lot of times it's just learning to listen more. And so I think that for me, it's just a matter of really sharing moments. And how do I like to give? Laughter. I mean, I just like to. One thing I've learned is because how I've been, I feel maybe it's because the way I got attention when I was a kid was just tease and make fun of. But I think I've learned more to share the moment instead of like teasing the partner, which I could have been really guilty of. So I think it's just more enjoying moments together and being really funny and having your little inside jokes. That's how I like to share and give.
Well said, Mike. My God.
Yo, that's what happens when you don't. That's what happens when you don't drink or smoke. Hello, you discover more sober.
He's all
The
about
pains
them
and the-
feelings and shit.
I just never knew you knew how to speak so eloquently.
Well, that's a skill that I've also learned. When you listen, you'll find out.
For me, it's simple. I like to receive love in action. You know, because you could tell me you love me all day.
Hell no, girl.
Okay, you could buy me balloons. You could bring the flowers from the Korean store on the corner. It's a very nice expression of gratitude. Thank you. But show me the money.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about a cram. Like, oh shit, Valentine's Day is in 5 days. Let me be nice starting now. You cannot cram. You can't cram like for a test. You know what I'm
I
saying?
see you.
Like action throughout the year, like you said, Julissa, on March 13th,
Right.
on December 6th,
Right.
on the first day of the autumn equinox.
Right.
I don't know, the next full moon. I bought you these flowers because your ass reminds me of the full moon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, action. But
That's so sweet.
yeah, I love a good action. You know what I mean? Action.
Dibby dibby da ba ba boo.
And how do I give love? I also give a lot of love through the lens of comedy. It's a great tactic. It's so bad. And it's unintentional sometimes. Like, we be in the moment, and I find a comical curve.
Oh, really?
You know? And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Because sometimes he's like, shh, you know? Like, not the time, not the time, not the time, not the time. But then other times, like, comedy during intimacy or comedy during a beautiful moment really elevates it to another threshold when it's done in the right vein.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like I agree with all of these answers, but I don't really have a specific answer for where I'm coming from. I'm interested to hear like what comedy in an intimate moment and sharing that is like, because I don't know that I've ever.
Like when he's eating you out and you let a little peito out and then they laugh.
Wow.
that kind of comedy. And then you play, is it a queen? Did it come out my pussy or did it come out my ass?
Wow. Okay. I didn't get those show notes. I didn't know we were gonna. Wow. A
I
vart.
think that's a comedic moment in love. And also, so, sex itself is a part of love. It's not the main thing about love. It's not the only important thing in a relationship, but it is certainly an important part of a relationship that you enjoy your partner. So how do y'all keep things spicy in the bedroom?
Wow.
Frank,
Frank.
you're single. I want to hear this because Frank is single out there right now. So,
I mean, it depends on the partner, right? It depends on what that partner enjoys and, the chemistry you and that partner has. So
you do a live podcast with the pussy, huh?
I would do it. Yeah. Why not?
Frank Nibs
Yeah.
live on the pussy
Oh,
podcast.
that sounds like a porn name in this context now. Frank Nibs.
Oh, hey.
Like Frank Nibbles?
Yeah.
Frank Nibs.
I mean, when it comes to sex, it's more mental, right? I think you ladies understand that. It's more mental. So I think even before you get in the bedroom, it's if you get it up here between the partners.
It's totally mental, but can I also add it's more vocal than it is mental? Just listen. That's really all
Yeah,
you have to do. Just
yeah.
listen.
Right.
Just
So
listen.
it's, before you even get in the bedroom, if you have that connection up here, I think in the bedroom it kind of flows.
So that's how you keep it spicy. You just be like rocking their brain,
I mean, it's
and then you rock their world.
I mean, you ladies know there's layers to it, right? Once you get to know this, then you want to go to that, and then you want to keep on going. That's why it gets boring after a while, right? Because the dude ain't taking it anywhere else, right? So it's about keeping on discovering different things that your partner's like, so you keep it spicy and keep it interesting.
Absolutely.
For me, I'm very blessed that I've had a cousin of mine that is Elmo Foca that taught me all the sex growing up. You can ask him, and so he's amazing. Well,
Do it like this, Mike.
no. He draws very well. I don't know if you were like Jerry draws very well, so he used to show me diagrams. And so he showed me a lot, so I learned a lot from him. And so I've been blessed for that, So he continues to learn, he continues to teach, So it's like a sex mentor, you know what I'm saying?
And it works because he's reproduced before. So
yes,
he's
he has 2 kids, so it's worked.
Only one of them came from his semen. The other one was from someone.
Doesn't matter. Metamorphosis? What is that? Osmosis, yeah. So all kudos 100% to Jerry,
All right.
who's taught me very well.
Shouts to Jerry.
Yes.
All right, Rachel.
How do I keep it spicy, yo? Okay. Depends on what season, what am I dressing for? I mean, comedy comes into play a lot. I'll throw on a wig.
Oh, wow.
No. I just like Frank's
You have to be You gotta be specific because you have male wigs too. So are you? Who's this guy? It's me, Rachel. Now turn around.
No.
My turn now. I wear the belt.
I'm not trying to. I don't think it would work in my scenario. No. But I got my Cardi B wig, I got my.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shaw wig.
Wow.
I had my Rosanna Santana wig.
Wow.
So sometimes you'll see a character enter the bedroom and then she eventually becomes Rachel, but it may start out as.
Do you ever wear the same wigs that you wear in the bedroom out in these sketches?
Of course.
Wow.
You think I got money for sex wigs? Sex wigs are the show wigs.
I keep my sex wigs
This
in that
bag,
closet. I keep
this
my
bag of
regular
wigs
wigs in that
smells
closet.
funny, Rachel.
Damn.
Can you at least dry clean these wigs?
Nah. Why is it crunchy? Why is this?
This wig had.
I can't brush these bangs. He got all his cum in the fucking bangs.
Rachel, this is You know what? She left conditioner in the wig. What's up with that?
Don't worry, ladies. I let me sew my wigs. We're good. Thank you. Yeah, I guess the wigs help. The characters help. And sometimes the whipped cream works sometimes. It's so old school, but it really gets them every time, It's just
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
the child just comes up, yeah, put whipped cream on it.
Wow. Wow.
I love it. What about you, Skittles? How you keep it spicy?
Oh my God. I like to think that my throat game is like spicy enough.
Oh. Hello.
Hashtag swallow squad. Y'all already fucking know. Gosh. Role play. I'm sorry, my head game is just like that bad. That
Yeah, and I think Skittles and I are friends because we share strategies. So we both, I think we both hold each other to a high standard. And so when we're talking about sex and we're like, oh well, what'd you do? Well, did you swallow? How deep did it go? Like I had for example, a friend of ours was talking about how they don't really like head, and I was like, well, has she passed the threshold yet? And they were like, well, what's the threshold? And I'm like, well, there's the threshold, like passed, and they
Wow.
were like,
Okay.
and they were like, no, and I was like, that's why you never had good head. Sorry, that's why you're like.
Wow.
Where is the threshold? Is it like
It's like-
past the pharynx?
It's you feel it because you feel the head go through, and it's like in a different.
Damn.
You can't.
None of your friends have died? This sounds deadly.
You're like your.
This sounds
tonsils
really
kinda,
deadly
like,
right
spread
now.
apart
like-
a little bit.
Yo, what happened to Amber? She passed
And
the
then-
threshold and she never
Yeah.
came back.
Yeah.
Yes. She's in
Well, you
EMS
learn-
right now.
You also learn like to like exhale going down, inhale going up.
This is a special
exhale
CPR
going
class.
Down, inhale going up. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
I think that's also I keep it.
You
nice
print
and
out your group text? It sounds like educational group text here. Like
Well,
a
we have a
fucking.
group chat called Bag of Entrepreneurial Thoughts where we all just kind of like throw out our...
We throw out business news and we talk about sex. That's literally.
Wait, I need to ask y'all then, if y'all both the heads of major corporations, what is, since you're the head of the class, what is,
One more. Trifecta. The rules of 3.
since you prefer to be the header and not the footer,
Ah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our podcast. No, it's okay.
can you drop a tactic on us? Like, what's something we should be doing besides passing the threshold? If the opportunity calls for the threshold to be passed.
I think straight women often underestimate the power of the gooch. And
The what?
The gooch.
What is the gooch?
Between your booty hole and your ball sack. That space.
Or the taint.
Or the
Some
taint.
people call it the taint.
Okay.
And I think that what
Wait,
happens-
time out. That Frank, the gooch is where when you go to the doctor and he puts a finger in your ass, it's that little thing he tickles so that your what's that? The proctologist. I think maybe that's why he doesn't charge my my insurance.
Is that why you see him 5 times a year?
He tells me like, yo, normally you gotta go once a year, but for you gotta go 5 times. I'm like, all right, as long as you're not charging my insurance, I'm good, yo.
To keep the prostate.
Yeah.
But I do think, and it's more that, like, you know, they say, like, when you're, like, deep throating and, like, when you can feel that he's about to come, like, to put a little pressure, it gives it a little kick. But I think you got to do a little more than that. I think even during the regular head, you got to lick it a bit. Like, yes, put the pressure on it. If you're feeling nasty, go to the asshole. Straight guys like getting their asshole licked. They just don't know it until it happens to them. Really? And I find that moment is the moment where the dick is at its optimal hardness. And so that's the moment in which I take the opportunity to take over. And so it's like, oh, your dick is hard. Now I'll get on top because that is the type of hard I want to ride. I don't want to ride no semi-hard shit. So that would be my.
This is like a TED talk. This is head talk. Head talk. Head talk. Check the screen here diagram. We don't want softy soft. We want it hard salute. So rub the gooch.
Is there a finger technique with touching the taint at optimal hardness? Fingers.
It depends. So like I tend to put knuckles. So like if you're okay, so if you're like sucking a dick.
Ass knuckles? Is that what
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like while you're deep throating
Ass
and like you're
knuckles.
massaging the balls.
Don't fuck with her.
like
She got
you're
ass
massaging-
knuckles. She's gonna beat you up with the ass knuckles.
Please, let's get us tell ass knuckles.
Ass knuckles.
So if
Oh
you're sucking
shit.
dick and
Gangbang.
like I find that I like to kind of massage the balls and then place my fingers behind the balls to then place pressure under it. I pride myself on a no hands technique as well. A no hands technique.
that's impressive.
Like making,
That's impressive.
Making a guy,
That's impressive.
Making a guy come without hands.
Is the best.
Do they love it? Do they really love it?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me.
No hands. Or if you're massaging the ball, knuckles. Some guys don't like necessarily for you to finger them, but to just lightly massage the area. And and I always just like the butthole. Don't go too deep. Just like nicely like circular. Yes, as if you're like rubbing the clit in a circular motion. Kind of the same way.
I'm so into this.
And Would you agree, Skittles, that with the no hands, a lot of the trick of the technique outside of the consistency is the angling? I find that when I am at a lower angle and they are standing up and I'm doing that, for some reason that angle with no hands is like the trick. It's like the cum trick.
Or like if you can't get under them,
Why do I feel like we're sports reporters and we're talking about like a basketball
Also,
game?
always-
If you do the angle, you shoot it. It's
Also,
like,
always,
you know what I mean?
People, one of the ways, and this is a vocal technique as a trained singer.
La, 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 la.
So a lot of people, in order to pass the threshold, you want to make sure that you are lifting your soft palate. So the way you know you're lifting your soft palate, I want everybody to breathe in as if they're about to yawn. You feel that lift in your back of your throat?
Oh,
Lift the soft
yes.
palate. You get
Yes.
optimal insertion.
Do the right angle so that it's less painful and you're not like,
Yeah. And like sometimes if a guy's curved, you have to like finagle it.
Yes.
so those are our tips. Yes.
Yes.
Girl, let me tell you.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So, so all that said, people talking all this shit about love and stuff around Valentine's Day. I just think motherfuckers just want to be out here to cuddle, get their gooch licked, and have a good day. And I think we don't need the internet to make us feel guilty about that.
Absolutely, I agree.
Cheers to that.